Hey guys, next up we got Ogre Magi. This is a hero that I played so much ever since Dota 1 days. One of my favorite heroes. Still pretty much nothing changed with him. He's still doing the good old stuff, just showing up to the fight, casting stun or ignite, getting the multicast proc and just destroying that one guy that was unfortunate enough to get hit by multicast, right? So pretty great spell. There's also Bloodlust, buffing attack speed, movement speed of your allies. You can also cast this on towers, increasing tower attack speed. So a great set of skills. A bit RNG with this, but not like you really need this to proc always. These just do fine even in their own default states, right? So a couple of items to kind of just amplify all of that and secure Ogre's movement speed, stuff like force step. So the thing that I put on the ground that I think you should always go on the lane if it's Ogre is just Soul Ring. I highly recommend just always getting Soul Ring. Ogre is built like an offlaner and stronger than most of the other offlaners. It's really funny, but you get a lot of armor and you get a lot of health. So even if you're kind of very low on consumables, you can just kind of stay there and whenever this is off the cooldown, immediately cast it and then just pour all of the spells on them, right? Especially great with ignite because this can hit multiple targets. So I always go with the Soul Ring. Soul Ring also gives you 2 extra armor or like very high default armor as well. Trying to kill Ogre early on the lane is almost impossible. You need to keep him really occupied or slowed or harassed enough that you can kill him in one kind of attack. Really annoying to deal with, right? You would rather attack anybody else than Ogre on the lane, especially early. It's just really hard to kill him. So use that as your advantage. Take the Soul Ring. The other guy on the lane will be really happy that you can always just keep pouring ignites on them, keeping them low health, making them spend money on consumables. If not, they'll have to leave the lane because you whoever it is on the lane, you'll always kind of be able to kind of over armor them, over health them, whatever the say is. It's just a great item to get and really helps you. Also helps you save a lot of money, and you can focus on buying whatever it is. Maybe you need extra wards. You can use money for that, for early smoke. Whatever it is, depending who's on the lane and what you're trying to do. So I just always get this no matter what, right? So let's just remove that so we can get to talk about other things, right? Ogre Magi, one of those heroes that I always get Elderlands as well. Pretty logical, right? You want some extra range on stun, you want some extra range on ignite, even on Bloodlust, so you can buff anybody that's kind of more further away from you or it's running away. Always great to have that extra range. Nothing really fits better Ogre. It deals with your mana problems and like arcane boots, and it gives you that nice cast range. This is always what I make, and if the game goes long enough, you can always bump this into Octave and Core, reduce the cooldown on everything, right, and on the items, and all benefits for that. And just do it the old way. Whatever items you have your boots, get the energy booster first, go for arcane boots, get the void stone, get the recipe, disenchant your arcane boots, unlock the energy booster, and just let the items combine into this. That is the best way. You just go from one mana item into another, and then you get also cast range. It's pretty great. Use your boots and just there it is. Just get tranquil boots. You can even rush tranquil boots if you want. Because of Soul Ring, like I said, if you're something like this, you keep spending health on here, but you're also kind of harassed a bit more on the lane. You can just make tranquil boots and immediately heal any health lost by Soul Ring, while also keeping the enemy team completely under spell damage, continuously just casting spells, right? However you wanna go with that, but that's it. Second item can be anything between like Glimmer Cape or Force Step. Ogre, even though it has a great set of spells, there's no leaps, there's no jumps here, there's no anything crazy like that. Something that deals with your movement speed problem, lets you move around the map much more easier. There's also an option to get Blink. Blink is great for something like this with a lot of health or armor. You can kind of blink anywhere in the enemy team, cast all your spells and kind of, just stay and keep hitting them. if you're like you can take a lot of damage on yourself instead of your offlaner, if that's the trade-off, you know, that you want to go for. Maybe your offlaner is kind of more like a aggressive type but can really tank more. Maybe something like Slardar, you know, it's not, let's say it's not Tides, it's something like Slardar, and then you can kind of help him out by taking some damage from him on you or some disables. Ogre is perfectly fine for that, and getting Blink is perfectly fine as well. Getting Blink and Force Staff is also completely fine. Like I said, you pretty much just need Netherlands, solve your cast range, mana problems, and then just pretty much whatever you want to go from this. You know, this is all great. But yeah, just how you want to play. If you feel like more up to ganking fast, you can just get Blink and that's it. You know, don't have to bother with this. If you want to be extra movement around the map, again, get Force Staff and get the Blink. Not really like you need any of these to make Ogre really great, right? Like I said, health is there, armor is there, you fix your mobility, you got a cast range, you got mana. That's pretty much it. But Glimmer Cape, if you want to make this, that's also great. Invisibility for you, for anybody else. If anybody's running away, cast Glimmer Cape on them. Use Force Staff on yourself. You save both you and the ally without having to trade. You know, maybe you save them, but then you die because you get stuck. This way you can kind of save both of you, right? And also if they get dusted or warded, you know, they can see them. Still 50% spell protection. So if they nuke him with spells, it's only half of the damage. So again, great way to survive. And usually what I always say, also the offensive way to use this, if there's chance, anybody that's next to you that want to jump in the fight, you're kind of expecting some spell damage on them, just give them Glimmer Cape and send them in. It's not Shadow Blade, you can attack from this, you can cast spells, the effect is still gonna last. They're just gonna keep getting in and out of invisibility, but they're always gonna keep the spell protection, always, for 5 seconds, no matter what. Nothing they can do about that. You know, unless somebody dispels it, but that doesn't happen really, you know. So another way to use Glimmer Cape, of course, aggressively. And yeah, Ogre with just stuff like this is pretty much set for anything, you know. You can't, nobody's really gonna ask for you to make anything else. All of these is kind of really nice bonuses, Scepter especially, right? But let's talk about this. Like, the game goes long, or you just got so much money for some reason, you know. I don't know why. Also, the whole, what's it called, Midas, just try avoid the making hand of Midas. It's 2000 gold, you're playing support, and like I said, you're playing Ogre Magi, who does not need anything at all. Now the whole hand of Midas thing is you cast this and then the ult procs, and then you siphon the whole wave. You know, that's all amazing and great if you were a core. If that was a core doing that, that would be amazing. You're not a core. Try to be useful for your team, whatever, however you can. You're playing support after all. You already have everything, health, armor. Just try to be useful. Don't waste 2000 gold. You're not supposed to take any farm. You're not supposed to clear the neutral camps. You're not supposed to be anything. Your cores need to farm. You need to let them take the gold. Just chill on the whole Midas thing. You do not need that crap at all for nothing. You do not need to farm for anything. This does not lead you towards anything. It's useless pretty much, and you're taking so much time, wasted money, and potentially stealing farm to try and get there, you know, while not making some great stuff like this. So just don't do that. It's not really for you, you know. So yeah, if the game goes further, Aeon Disc is always bump to health. Gives you another 2.5 seconds of time to think about when they gank you. If they, you know, do a lot of damage immediately, you block that off, you get that extra seconds. Are you gonna run away? Are you gonna cast stun and ignite before you die? Are you gonna buff somebody with bloodlust? Whatever you do, you know, it's a couple of extra seconds and gives you time, unless you're really hard locked. It gives you time to do at least something before you die or whatever happens, right? Aeon Disc is just the usual good stuff for supports that, you know. But again, we're talking about Ogre. Ogre is not really one of those weak ones that just kind of, I need this, or they just wipe me. Ogre is easy, right? To survive. So something like that. I also like getting Shiva again, just to bump the whole armor thing. Gives you nice AoE. Damage gives you slow. For everybody, if anybody attacks you, they gotta go through all of that armor and they, slow the attack speed by 45. Completely legit item if you wanna go for that. Just remove it. It's a lot of money though still. Probably something like Ghost Scepter will probably happen more often, or something like Lotus Orb. Ghost Scepter, if there's problems with right-click heroes, Ursa, Faceless Void, Troll, stuff like that, Legion Commander, if you kind of feel he's gonna jump on your Viroto, you can precast this. A lot of options with Ghost Scepter. Goes into Ethereal Blade when you upgrade it. A lot of benefits from Kaya, the piece. Just being able to cast Ethereal on somebody and then nuke him with spells as well. So however you go with that way, it only gets better, right, from Ghost Scepter. So there's that. There's actual Scepter that gives you another stun. It's a lot of money, but it gives you one extra stun. This burns through your mana real fast, but kind of also almost always let you cast it because it's 35% of current mana. So even if you have 10 mana, you can still cast this. I believe you can if nothing else changed, but I don't think it did, right? So it's not like hard defined by mana like this. Of course, it's gonna spend your mana so you can cast this, but that's kind of like a trade-off. You can't have everything, you can't just jump into a fight and cast 1 billion stuns and AoE damage and buff everybody and it's just, I'm gonna have all of my mana pool as well. Just keep nuking. There's gotta be a trade-off. So there's always Scepter. Great and also this procs with the multicast, so you can get multicast on this as well. And there's always Lotus Orb. Ogre is one of the better ones with Lotus Orb. Kinda goes with the Shard. Shard blocks the damage incoming for 3 attacks, and then once that is off, it launches Fireball to to the attacker. So you can give somebody Fire Shield, and then you can give them a Lotus Orb. You can send them in. They're gonna return all the spells or disdables, whatever it is, Hex, Stun, Silence, Orchid effects, and also get wrecked by the reactionary effect of Fire Shield. If you just want to get the Shard, and cast it on something like Tides or your carry, you can. That's completely fine to do. It's it's Ogre. Yeah, you're not gonna sacrifice anything game winning if you wanna just get the Shard. That's completely fine. So yeah, Shard, and we talk about Scepter, and last one, something like Hex. Ogre is also great with Hex. Becomes especially great because of the 25th level talent. That's fire if the game lasts that long, but there's a 70% Fire Blast chance on attack. Buff yourself with the Bloodlust. It's AoE buff. If this procs you might buff everybody else anyways, and you will be buffing everybody else, right? But let's say it's on yourself as well. You just kind of can stun, slow them with Ignite, keep hitting them. Hex just gives a lot more chances for this to proc, among others, besides being a great disabling spell on anybody. Hex is always Hex, but works especially great with something like this, right? Where you can just get some extra time, keep hitting them, and try to get the proc. But yeah, that will be why I like Hex the most. It just kind of goes with the whole team, right? And probably if I had money, if the game went for that long, it'll probably be something like that. So probably Shiva or Hex, or probably Ethereal. Scepter and again, Scepter and Lotus would be like more optional than these, right? But like I said, it's a lot of money. It's the full slot build. You will also get the core, for the other lands. That's a lot of money. But yeah, there'll be with the items and stuff. Like I said, just take the Soul Ring on the lane. You won't have any problems with Ogre. Buy extra Tengus if you really need them, or just kind of rush the Tranquil Boots. Not really any extra stuff that you have to do. You'll be helping your teammate a lot, but just again being able to cast this every time it goes off the cooldown, right? Also stun, because as you can see, even the last level of this is not that high in mana, so you can kind of almost get away with casting both of these on one press of the ring, right? Because you will have some mana in the mana pool. This won't be 0, and these in total are like what, 110 and 115, so 225, and you get 150. So you just kind of need 50 mana in your pool to be able always to cast both of these spells on one press of the Soul Ring, even if they're both on the last level. You know, so, and even might probably have some leftovers for Bloodlust. I almost usually always have, because Bloodlust is like really cheap. So that's with the Ogre and stuff. Considering skills and items, as you see the talent tree. This kind of depends. I would say from game to game, a really hard choice. I mean, both are amazing. Bumping this even lower, that's your stun, versus Ignite, that's AoE, but it takes time. So it becomes kind of worse if they got anything like hoods, shrouds, pipes, black king bars. Then you kind of use value on this, but this is really early game, so nobody's gonna have that early. So having something plus 16 on an AoE might be just better than the cooldown on a single target. But again, that's a tough choice. Second one, though, is almost always health for me. 80 damage is a lot, but I don't know. I'm still at the end of the day playing support. I really need kind of to survive more than be compelled when I took the damage to take fights immediately alongside my course and then just die and sacrifice all the low cooldowns that Fire Blast and Ignite have and all the other stuff, right? You're much worth there being alive and being able to reload and keep casting this and buffing with Bloodlust than to take this and feel compelled, okay, I get damage, now I have to fight. I very much say the health. And level 20 as well, extra strength, just, you know, create this amazing tank tank of a support for free. Free health, free strength. Always take that. People are just gonna ignore you completely and, you know, not even bother with you that much unless they can really kill you immediately. Ogre becomes extremely annoying. They're even probably gonna try and kill your offlaner first if it's like level 20 before trying to kill Ogre, pretty much at that stage. And last one, like I said, Fire Blast chance to attack. 250 Fire Blast damage is also great. Might be a lot of value from this because it's instant cast, especially with multicast proc. Now you can easily delete people with this now. But this is kinda better because at that stage you'll have some items, you have a lot of health, you know, you pass through all of these. You have a lot of armor, especially if you went something like Shiva. And why not? You'll be completely able to right click now. Your team will probably build their disables as well, your other support, you know, there's a lot of crowd control spells. Why not? But just kind of wait and see how it goes. Just like, what is the enemy team, what is your team, what did they make, what did your team make, and then decide. But again, I just take this no matter what, right? Because at that stage I'll be jumping into fights no matter what. So yeah, yeah, that was pretty much everything with Ogre. Nothing else really. I guess as a support item, there's also Spirit Vessel, but I usually don't go for this. You know, from Urn to Spirit Vessel. Spirit Vessel is always great for offlaners because of the 4% health reduction. But however you wanna go, you know, again, you can make Spirit Vessel if you want instead of any of these, but Force F is kind of needed again for mobility. Glimmer Cape to kind of hide your teammates. You know, this one, Aeon Disc also kind of needed, you know, to help you survive. Everything's kind of needed, so I don't know where I would really put this. I'll have to sell it eventually for something, but yeah, it kind of depends, right? Again, games don't go that long. You kind of end up with only just. If you just get it, there might not be space for anything else anyways, right? So yeah, that will be Ogre in short. I think it's pretty short, and I'll see you guys on the next one.